Vazik Dren was considered the most lethal hunter in the Galactic Consortium. His species, the Nalthari, had evolved as apex predators on a temperate world with minimal environmental hazards. Their neurological makeup was optimized for calm calculation and strategic thinking, perfect for the methodical hunter. For 2 centuries, Vazik had pursued and eliminated targets across 17 star systems. His record was flawless. Until now. The assignment seemed routine. Eliminate a troublesome human diplomat named Thorn who threatened to expose corruption within the consortium's High Council. The contract paid triple the standard rate, unusual but not concerning. Vazik should have recognized the warning sign. His research indicated humans originated from a planet classified as Death 3, the 3rd highest danger rating in the galactic classification system. Most species evolved on worlds rated hospitable, 1 through challenging 2. Death-class planets were considered evolutionary pressure cookers that produced abnormal adaptations. Vazik tracked Thorn to the floating arcologies of Proxima Station. The diplomat moved with a strange gait that Vazik systems initially registered as an injury. Later analysis would reveal it was merely the constant tension of muscles evolved to function under crushing gravity. Subject located in Sector 7, Level 42. Reported Vazik's neural assistant, as he slipped through maintenance corridors designed for beings half his size. The ambush was perfect. Vazik emerged silently behind Thorn in the diplomat's private quarters. His paralytic toxin dart launched without a sound. What happened next defied Vazik's understanding of physiology. Thorn, somehow sensing the nearly silent projectile, twisted with impossible speed. The dart grazed skin instead of embedding. More shocking was what followed. Rather than succumbing to even this minimal exposure to a toxin that could immobilize creatures 4 times his size, Thorn's pupils dilated and his breathing accelerated. "That was a mistake," Thorn said, voice unnaturally calm despite his clearly activated fight response systems. Vazik deployed his secondary weapons, but Thorn moved with terrifying efficiency. The human's reflexes operated at speeds that should have torn his musculature. More disturbing, the human seemed to be getting faster as the toxin entered his system. Later, Vazik would learn about adrenaline, the human emergency response compound that could temporarily transform them into something beyond rational understanding. For the first time in his distinguished career, Vazik Dren chose retreat. Contract canceled. He transmitted to his employers while nursing 3 broken limbs aboard his escape vessel. Target is Deathworld origin. No further engagement recommended. The transmission received no acknowledgement. Vazik didn't expect one. The consortium would simply find another hunter ignorant of what humans truly were. But Vazik knew better now. Humans weren't simply diplomatic nuisances or political obstacles. They were something his kind had never evolved to comprehend. Creatures forged in environmental crucibles that made survival itself a daily miracle. They were Deathworlders, and they had earned their reputation. Lyrax Vrelmote assembled the most formidable assassination team in galactic history. The Ithri twins brought telekinetic abilities, honed through generations of selective breeding. Dronax, the unkillable, had survived 17 death sentences across 9 jurisdictions. The biomechanical construct known only as Pulse could disrupt any known nervous system. Vrelmote himself possessed psychic shields impenetrable to mental probes. Their target was Admiral Keone Ekami, the human military commander whose unconventional tactics had secured human dominance in the Orion Spur despite their technological disadvantages. Psychological profile indicates standard human vulnerabilities, reported Pulse, its voice carrying harmonic undertones meant to induce subtle compliance in listeners. The specimen maintains bonds with genetic offspring and possesses typical mammalian concern for mortality. Vrelmote studied the holographic simulation of their target. Admiral Ekami appeared unremarkable, a bipedal mammal with the usual human inefficiencies like external ears and exposed sensory organs. Their endocrine system makes them unpredictable, warned Dronax, whose previous encounter with humans had left him with cybernetic replacements for 3 limbs. The chemicals they secrete under threat dramatically alter their capabilities. Is that relevant to our approach? asked Talek, the elder Ithri twin. Absolutely, Dronax replied, his artificial eye focusing with an audible whir. Humans don't just fight harder when cornered. They transform physiologically. Their pain thresholds expand. Their strength multiplies. Their decision-making accelerates. Evolutionary adaptations from their catastrophic homeworld, Pulse added. Their planet regularly experienced extinction-level events. Their bodies expect environmental betrayal. The team infiltrated the Admiral's vessel during diplomatic proceedings with the consortium. Their plan was elegant. Pulse would neutralize security systems. The Ithri twins would immobilize the Admiral telekinetically. Dronax would ensure no unexpected heroics from the humans' guards, and Vrelmote would deliver the fatal strike personally. The first stage proceeded flawlessly. The second brought disaster. When the twins attempted to telekinetically restrain the Admiral, something unprecedented occurred. Humans, according to all previous intelligence, possessed negligible psionic potential. But Admiral HFY didn't just resist. He seemed to absorb the telekinetic energy, his body adapting in real time to the psychic assault. Impossible, gasped Talek, blood vessels rupturing in his eyes from the psychic backlash. The Admiral smiled, a disconcertingly predatory baring of teeth that reminded Vrelmote that humans evolved from pack hunters. Did the consortium really think we wouldn't adapt defenses against your kind? HFY asked, tapping a small implant behind his ear. We analyzed your psionic attacks and developed countermeasures after your first 3 assassination attempts. Retreat protocol, ordered Vrelmote, but it was too late. The Admiral's security team emerged not with standard weapons, but with devices specifically designed to target each assassin's unique physiology. As Vrelmote fled with his gravely wounded team, leaving Pulse behind, he broadcast an emergency warning to all contracted killers in consortium space. Deathworlders anticipate. Deathworlders adapt. Avoid human targets at all costs. Mextavaran assassins were revered across the galaxy. Unlike mercenary killers like Vazik or coalition teams like Vrelmote's, the Mextavaran were essentially living weapons, genetically engineered over 40 generations to embody perfect lethality. Caxer was their finest specimen. His skin could alter pigmentation for perfect camouflage. His circulatory system could filter toxins within seconds. His neural pathways were optimized for combat processing, allowing him to predict opponent movements before they occurred. The contract was simple. Eliminate Dr. Ravi Lakshmi, the human responsible for revolutionizing shield technology that had rendered consortium weapons ineffective. Previous attempts utilized overly complex approaches, Caxer reported to his handlers. I will succeed through simplicity. While other assassins failed to appreciate human adaptability, Caxer had studied their evolutionary history. Humans were persistent predators, not the fastest or strongest, but unmatched in endurance. Their ancestral hunting method was exhausting prey through relentless pursuit. Caxer would use their own evolutionary strategy against them. Instead of a direct confrontation, he would implement environmental hazards that would gradually wear down even a Deathworlder's defenses. Over 3 standard weeks, he systematically compromised Dr. Lakshmi's habitation systems. Microscopic atmospheric alterations, subtle radiation leaks, infinitesimal changes to artificial gravity, none immediately lethal, but together creating compounding stress on human physiology. Targets showing initial signs of systemic deterioration, Caxer noted in his logs. Estimated breakdown of immune response within 8 standard days. What Caxer failed to appreciate was that humans evolved on a planet with wildly fluctuating environmental conditions. Their bodies didn't just tolerate environmental stress, they adapted to it. On day 12, Caxer noted something alarming. Dr. Lakshmi's vital signs were stabilizing. Further observation revealed increased red blood cell production, enhanced adrenal function, and strengthened bone density. The human wasn't deteriorating. She was getting stronger. More disturbing was the methodical way she began investigating the environmental anomalies. Rather than panic, she demonstrated analytical pattern recognition that Caxer had believed impossible outside his own engineered species. The evolutionary pressure of Earth created problem solvers. Kaxar realized too late. Not just survivors. When Dr. Lakshmi located and disabled his monitoring equipment, Kaxar initiated direct intervention. Breaking into her laboratory during sleep cycle, he prepared to deliver a seemingly natural cerebrovascular termination. He found her waiting. "Your species considers itself the perfect predator," Dr. Lakshmi said, gesturing to the security field now surrounding Kaxar. "But you evolved in controlled conditions with predetermined outcomes. We evolved in chaos, shaped by unpredictable catastrophes." "You should be weakened," Kaxar stated, genuinely perplexed. "The cumulative environmental stress triggered adaptations our bodies evolved through millions of years, surviving on a planet that tried to kill us daily," she finished. "You made me stronger, assassin." Kaxar submitted to capture rather than termination, recognizing the scientific value of understanding why his perfect strategy had failed. His final report to the breeding masters contained one recommendation: discontinue human targeting operations. Deathworlders convert adversity to advantage through mechanisms we cannot predict. The Void Collective represented the galaxy's response to existential threats. When conventional military forces failed, when diplomatic solutions collapsed, the Collective deployed its extinction teams, specialists trained to eliminate entire civilizations through precisely engineered calamities. Team Obsidian, led by the legendary Zorl, received unprecedented authorization: neutralize humanity before their rapid expansion rendered them untouchable. Previous individual targeting has proven ineffective. Zorl informed the 4 specialists assembled in the negative gravity chamber. Humans adapt too quickly to direct threats. We will instead attack their evolutionary weaknesses systematically. The team deployed to Sol System's outer boundary, establishing a base on a captured comet. Their approach was multi-generational, subtle manipulations designed to collapse human civilization within 60 years. Morty, their bioengineer, developed pathogens targeting unique human gut bacteria. ELN Varric, master of climatology, initiated cascading atmospheric disturbances to disrupt food production. Zenla manipulated information systems to gradually foster societal distrust. Zorl personally orchestrated the introduction of subtle cognitive degradants through water supplies. Success probability, 97.8%, calculated the team's quantum assessment engine. No species had ever survived the Collective's comprehensive approach. 6 standard months into implementation, disaster struck the team. "Impossible readings from monitoring stations," reported Zenla. "The humans have identified all 4 vectors simultaneously." The surveillance data was undeniable. Human scientists had not only detected each carefully concealed attack, but had developed countermeasures with alarming speed. More disturbing was the pattern of their response. Rather than merely defending, human authorities had launched what appeared to be a coordinated counteroffensive. The team's supposedly untraceable operations had been not only traced, but targeted. "They've adapted our own pathogens to target our unique physiologies," Morty reported, voice wavering as the first symptoms appeared among their support staff. "They're using our attack signature against us." "How could they possibly?" Zorl began. The answer came as a transmission directly to their supposedly undetectable command center. "Extinction Team Obsidian," began the human representative, her expression clinically detached. "Your methodologies mirror extinction events that occurred naturally on Earth throughout our evolution. Did you believe we wouldn't recognize the patterns that shaped our species?" The transmission continued. "We've survived asteroid impacts, supervolcanic eruptions, ice ages, pandemic diseases, and our own self-inflicted catastrophes. Your orchestrated extinction event is approximately 42%, as severe as 5 separate natural disasters our species has already endured." When Team Obsidian attempted emergency evacuation, they discovered their ships had been compromised. When they activated distress protocols, they found communication channels blocked. Zorl's final log entry, transmitted through emergency quantum channels to the Collective, contained a warning that would reshape galactic security doctrine. Deathworlders don't just survive extinction events. They use them as evolutionary accelerants. Humanity isn't just dangerous, they're extinction-proof. Grand Archon Tul Zenith, Supreme Commander of the Consortium's Elimination Division, reviewed the accumulated failures with growing concern. For distinct approaches, individual assassination, team operation, environmental manipulation, and extinction protocols had not only failed, but backfired catastrophically. We fundamentally misunderstand these creatures, Tul Zenith announced to the Consortium Council. Our conventional categorization of threats is inadequate. The council chamber erupted in debate. Representatives from 17 species argued various strategies, from full-scale military confrontation to immediate surrender. Tul Zenith silenced them with a gesture. Before determining our course, we must truly comprehend what humans are. The Archon authorized an unprecedented initiative, direct observation of Earth without intervention. For one standard year, the most sophisticated surveillance network ever deployed studied humanity's homeworld. The findings defied belief. Their planet actively tries to kill them, explained xenobiologist Nevrotin. Daily atmospheric electrical discharges. Tectonic plates in constant collision. Microscopic predators evolving new attack vectors continuously. Megafauna that would qualify as apex threats on most worlds, considered merely inconvenient by humans. More concerning, added evolutionary specialist Ikra, is that humans thrived under these conditions. They don't merely survive catastrophes, they integrate the lessons of each disaster, anticipating future threats. Most disturbing was the psychological analysis. Humans possessed seemingly contradictory traits. They were simultaneously the most cooperative and most competitive species studied. They formed bonds across arbitrary boundaries, while maintaining the capacity for calculated violence that shocked even the Consortium's veteran operatives. They are not simply Deathworlders, concluded Tul Zenith after reviewing all data. They are the only known species to evolve intelligence as an extinction avoidance mechanism. The Archon's final recommendation to the Council marked a paradigm shift in galactic relations. Terminate all elimination operations against humans immediately. Initiate diplomatic recognition at highest priority. The species that survived Earth won't be eliminated through our intervention. They'll simply adapt and become more dangerous. When the first official diplomatic envoys arrived on Earth, humanity's representatives received them with a knowing smile that sent chills through even the most composed consortium delegates. "We were wondering when you'd stop trying to kill us and start talking," said Ambassador Eliana Blackwood, her casual demeanor belying the implied threat. "Your assassins were becoming quite predictable." The signing of the non-aggression accord occurred exactly where Kaxar had attempted to eliminate Dr. Lakshmi. The location was humanity's subtle reminder. They knew everything, had survived everything, and were prepared for anything. As the Treaty of Soul formally recognized humanity's right to exist unharassed among the galactic community, a simple message spread through the underworld networks, where assassins and extinction specialists once accepted contracts. Warning: do not accept contracts against Deathworlders. They don't just survive, they learn from every attempt. And they remember who sent the killers. The galaxy's most experienced killers finally understood why attempting to eliminate humans only made them more formidable. You cannot extinguish a species forged in extinction events. You can only teach them new ways to survive.